Hey everyone, and welcome. I am so excited for today's recipe because honestly, it's the ultimate comfort food. We are going to take a simple, humble zucchini and turn it into something absolutely spectacular, a rich, creamy, and just unbelievably heartwarming casserole. This is that perfect dish for any day, really, but especially for those days when you just need a little extra warmth. You know, this is one of those recipes that really does feel like a hug in a bowl. It's the kind of thing I love to make for people I care about. It's nourishing, it's so delicious, and I promise you, by the time we're done here, you are gonna have a new favorite in your cooking arsenal. So, let's get into it. All right, here's our game plan. We're gonna start with the absolute foundation, the zucchini. Then we'll build up that incredible savory filling, and of course, that luxurious creamy bechamel. After that, it's all about putting it together and baking it to golden brown perfection. It sounds like a lot, but I promise it's way easier than it looks. Okay, let's dive right in. The absolute key to making this dish amazing is how we handle the zucchini. We're not just slicing it up, no. We're actually building a deep foundation of flavor that's going to run through the entire casserole. This is what makes it so good. So the ingredients here are just beautiful and simple. You're going to need about 2 kilograms of medium zucchini. When you're picking them out, look for ones that are nice and firm with a really vibrant green color. Then we just need some good olive oil, a little bit of minced garlic, and of course, my secret spice blend, which really makes this whole thing sing. Now this spice blend, this isn't just a random mix of things I threw together. Every single ingredient in here has a very specific job to do. It's all about creating this unforgettable flavor, and trust me, this is what takes this dish from being just good to being absolutely great. And here it is. We've got our salt and pepper, of course, the basics. Then a teaspoon of chicken or vegetable stock powder. That's for a real savory umami depth. A tiny pinch of nutmeg adds this subtle warmth. And then the secret weapon, 1 teaspoon of dried mint. It might sound strange, but it brings this incredible freshness that just perfectly cuts through all the richness. Just mix it all up and you're ready to go. So here's how we prep the zucchini. First, I like to gently scrape the skin with a serrated knife. It just gives it this great texture and helps it grab onto the sauce later. Wash and dry them really well, then slice them lengthwise into medium thick strips. Now, here's the important part. Instead of frying them, we're gonna grill them on high heat with a little olive oil and garlic. This gives them amazing flavor without making them soggy or greasy. As they're grilling, sprinkle that spice blend on both sides. You want them to get beautifully golden brown at about 95% cooked. They'll be so good, you'll be tempted to eat them right out of the pan. All right, our zucchini is grilled, seasoned, and smelling incredible. Now it's time to move on to the heart of the dish, that rich and savory filling that makes this casserole so satisfying. So for the filling, we've got minced meat. I really like using a mix of beef and lamb, but use whatever you love. We've also got a finely chopped white onion. Pro tip, the white onion has a subtle sweetness that is just perfect in here. A couple of cloves of garlic, and then our spices, salt, pepper, a bit of 7 spices, and yep, that little hint of nutmeg again to tie it all together. Making this is super straightforward. Get your pan nice and hot and sear the meat until it's browned. Searing on high heat is key to keeping it juicy. Then toss in your onion and garlic and saute until they're soft and fragrant. Now turn the heat down, add all your spices, and just give it a good mix for about a minute. You really don't want to overcook it here, because remember, it's going to cook more in the oven. And now for my favorite part, the one thing that brings this entire dish together in one big, creamy, luxurious hug, the bechamel sauce. A perfect bechamel is a total game changer, and I'm going to show you how to make it foolproof. I like to use a mix of ghee and oil for a really rich flavor. Then we've got our flour for thickening, and for that extra creamy texture, I use a combo of whole milk and heavy cream. For seasoning, it's salt, pepper, nutmeg, a stock cube, and a bay leaf. Now, if you can find it, a couple of tears of mastic adds this unique, aromatic flavor that is just incredible in this sauce. Okay, now listen up because this is a really important tip. When you make bechamel for something like lasagna, the starch from the pasta actually helps thicken the sauce in the oven. But zucchini doesn't release any starch. So that means our bechamel has to be the perfect medium thickness from the very beginning. You want it thick enough to coat the back of a spoon. That's the goal. So, To make it, you'll melt your ghee in oil, then whisk in the flour to create what's called a roux. Let that cook for a minute until it's a nice golden color. And now for the most important part. Start pouring in your milk and cream very, very gradually while you whisk constantly. I mean constantly. This is the secret to a perfectly smooth, lump-free sauce. Then add your seasonings and just keep whisking over medium heat until it gets nice and thick and starts to bubble. All right, everything is ready to go. Our zucchini is grilled, the filling is savory, the bechamel is creamy. Now for the really fun part. We get to bring it all together and build our masterpiece. First things first, spread a thin layer of that beautiful bechamel on the bottom of your baking dish. This just keeps anything from sticking. Then lay down your first layer of the grilled zucchini. I want you to think of it like building a lasagna. You want to arrange the slices really tightly, even overlapping them a bit so there are no gaps. Next up, spread that delicious meat filling evenly all over the zucchini. And here's another little trick. Add a light layer of bechamel right on top of the meat. This little step is what keeps that filling wonderfully moist and flavorful while it bakes. Don't skip it. Now, add your final layer of zucchini, making sure it's another nice, tight layer with no gaps. And finally, for the crowning glory, pour the rest of that beautiful, creamy bechamel all over the top. Make sure you spread it right to the edges to seal everything in. Oh, and if you're a cheese lover like me, now is the perfect time to sprinkle on some Parmesan or mozzarella. We are so close. I can almost taste it. The final step is just to bake this beauty to absolute perfection. We're going for that irresistible, bubbly, golden brown top. So, here's the thing. Everything in the casserole is already cooked, right? So we're not really baking it. We just need to heat it through and get that gorgeous color on top. And the best way to do that is with your oven's broiler, set on low. Now, don't just stick it on the top rack right under the heat. You want to place the casserole on a lower rack in your oven. This way, it's not getting blasted with direct heat. It allows the whole thing to get hot and bubbly all the way through, while the top slowly develops this deep, beautiful, even golden color. Just keep an eye on it. It's done when it's perfect. And now, the big question, how do you serve it? Well, you've got two amazing options. If you're like me and you love that molten, gooey, incredibly luscious texture, serve it right away while it's still hot and bubbling. But if you want to serve really clean, beautiful slices that hold their shape, you just need a little patience. Let it rest for about 10 or 15 minutes before you cut into it. Honestly, you can't go wrong either way. You know, a dish like this, it's really more than just food. It's an experience. It's warm, it's comforting, and it is absolutely made to be shared with people you love. So as you're making this and enjoying it, I want you to think about that. Who are you going to share this little piece of comfort with? Enjoy every single bite.